So what's it really like to be a new player in Destiny 2 after 100 plus hours? We're going to get into that today in this video. So if you want to see more sci-fi content, more Destiny 2 content from the perspective of a new player, as well as guides down the road, then be sure as always to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get straight into my thoughts. One of the big contributing factors as to why I'm really enjoying Destiny 2 a lot after 100 hours comes down to its sheer customization features and the limitless potential it has. And because I've come from a background that revolves around deck building in Hearthstone and team building in Pokemon VGC, a lot of what Destiny 2 offers is very similar to those respective games. And what makes Destiny 2 fantastic is that I've grown up playing FPS my entire life. For context, I grew up in the 90s with the likes of Doom and Hexen and so many other fantastic games like Day of Defeat, Counter-Strike 1.6, just a wide plethora of shooters. And so that has always been at the core of my foundation when it comes to games. And so diving into Destiny 2 and spending all this time customizing my loadouts for PvE and PvP builds, and I have, my Arc builds, and then I have my Stasis builds. I think all of that encompasses what makes me appreciate gaming. Destiny 2 incorporates everything I love in one package. It has the competition, it has the casual, and most importantly, it gives me the freedom of expression. And that is perhaps the biggest selling point for me as a player, new player coming into Destiny 2 and spending this much time within the game. And so I want to advocate this to other new players out there who are looking for an experience that really gives you that true sense of creative freedom when it comes to just the fashion of your character, the class of your character, the weapons you can utilize. Like I said, there's a plethora of weapon loadouts and perks and what these perks can do for your guns and which ones are good, which ones are bad. Like, there's so many different variables to consider. Again, I want to kind of compare it to the likeness of Pokemon breeding, where you have a specific ability for a Pokemon, like Prankster on a Pokemon, and you want to continue to farm that Pokemon until you finally get that one ability that's Prankster. And it feels the same way in Destiny 2, where I'm just farming for the same weapon until I can get onslaughts or, heal clips or something that would really make that gun stand above the rest. And so for me, that's like my takeaway from Destiny 2 thus far after 100 hours is I can log into the game any time of the day, any time of the week, and always feel like the experience is brand new because I'm always tinkering, experimenting through trial and error. What guns work, what doesn't work, what goes with this subclass, and what complements other subclasses in PvE, and what can excel better in PvP. All these things are just constantly like a light bulb going off in my head. And so yeah, this game is fantastic. I love it a lot already, and I can't wait to get to the new milestone, which will be maybe 500 hours, and we'll see another follow-up then. But anyway, let's move on to the next point. By now, you're probably already realizing the enthusiasm in my voice, and that I'm coming at this with a very unfiltered, unscripted perspective. And I think that's what really drives the message home, because it comes from a very authentic and genuine place. And so when it came to Destiny 2, one of the biggest contributors to keeping me hooked in this game was, in fact, its lore, its incredible lore. There's just so much to explore when it comes to the narrative in this game. So many cool characters, all of whom have their own respective directions and contributions and motives, and all of that to me just is sheer brilliance. To me, Destiny 2, it really gives me Star Wars vibes just because of the infinite potential it has in terms of characters, the lore, and where the direction can go. So long as the writing team continues to be genius at what they do, I think Destiny will just continue to thrive and continue to grow and prosper for many more years to come. And I think this is a huge, again, selling point for Destiny 2. For those of you coming into Destiny 2 watching this, the lore in this game is by far one of the best I've ever come across in a video game. You know, outside of film, of course, film has its own respective, you know, greats out there. But in terms of video game narrative, in terms of video game writing, I've honestly never come across writing as good as Destiny has. And I can totally see why the game has been thriving for as many years as it has, because the narrative has been so well written, characters are so fleshed out, and it really evokes a lot of strong emotion that captivates you as you're playing, and you feel as if you're a part of that experience as the game evolves over time. And because you play the role of a guardian, you are in fact part of that narrative. You are the one who is kind of writing the story as it unfolds, and you're seeing the consequences of the actions that take place throughout the game and how characters develop and evolve. All of these things are what make Destiny 2 to me so great. And I already have my favorite characters in the game thus far. Marasov and Elsie so far are two of my top characters, like, period. Like, they're my all-time favorite characters in the game. They're so amazing, and that's just the beginning for me, you know. And I really do applaud the writing team at Destiny, and just the whole team in general, because it isn't just about the writing team, it also is about the visuals and how you capture the narrative in a visual stance as well. Everything must come together as one. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. Shout outs to the Destiny team at Bungie. And yeah, this game is fantastic lore wise. I can't wait to know more through Witch Queen and of course Final Shape and Lightfall. But on to the next point. Never did I fathom in my mind that Destiny 2 would become a game that I would make content for, let alone play. And just seeing the sheer amount of outpouring of support from so many of you in the community has really touched me in a really big way. For so long, I've struggled to find my footing, to really kind of, you know, ground myself in something that I really could enjoy for a long period of time. And as you guys can see from my content, you know, it's been like all over the place. I was trying to find myself, and it was tough. It was tough to do that. And Destiny 2 kind of brought that voice back, that voice that was lingering deep within my heart, yearning for action, for narrative, for a community, for all of these things that I've always just enjoyed growing up as a kid, playing all these games with friends and family and what have you. Destiny 2 gave me all of that and more. And so I just want to thank each and every single one of you out there who's watched my videos and who's left comments, whether they're good or bad. I read all your comments, by the way, and I've done my very best to respond to each and every single one of them. I know it's not easy, but I do my best. But your response, your support, it really means so much to me, especially because, again, I was soul searching for so long, and I never really expected Destiny 2, let alone my videos, to even have this much impact on the community. So I just want to say thanks once again. This community has been fantastic. You've all been very gracious, very humbling, and yeah, there's just not much I can really say. You know, I think it goes beyond words that when you have a game that can bring people together in a very in a very humanistic way. You know, we're all together here as humans, enjoying this experience together, seeing the unfolding of what's to come, and just having that shared feeling of joy or sadness, or let's say irritation, or whatever the case may be. It's just something I think many of us take for granted, and I try my best to not do that anymore, especially with, again, so much of that support being thrown at me unexpectedly with Destiny 2. So after my 100 hours of me playing the game, what are my final thoughts thus far? Amazing. I love every single second, minute, and hour of this game. All thanks to you and the community for your outpouring of support through the struggles I've had to go through. You've made my life that much better. Of course, PvP is great. I can't stress enough how much I love PvP. It's really fun, and it really brings out the best in my creativity when it comes to, you know, building weapon loadouts and seeing what works. So PvP, I gotta give a big shout out to that too for Destiny. I think it's a really good little, you know, little sprinkle of action in the game alongside PvE is always nice. But I've rambled on enough, guys. I think you already know how I feel about Destiny 2 after this long. Look forward to perhaps another follow-up. We'll see how long I have to wait for this one. Maybe 500 hours or 1,000. We'll see. In any case, once again, thank you all for being a part of this community. If you want to be a part of my community and, you know, join Discord, by all means, you can hop on Discord. Follow me here on YouTube. Follow me on Kick. And let's talk. Let's play some raids. Let's do some dungeons. Let's just talk Destiny, sci-fi, and all the good stuff. So, new warriors, as I always say, stay strong and keep fighting. And may the Force be with you all, always. Thank you. Peace.